I'm the Member of Parliament next door to Lucy in Manchester, and I want to start by thanking Bethan and Juliet for talking to us about the survey. It was really interesting to hear how young women's opinions are shifting and moving, and there were some good things in there and some things that are quite worrying. But you know, I just love the story, Lucy, I've heard you tell the story before about her daughter. I love the story about what her daughter says. Can men be MPs? Well, yeah, they can. They're just not very good at it, you know, compared to women. And I want to tell you how I got into thinking about girls and women's rights and how we should support young women. And I'm talking about a long time ago, when I was a very young girl myself. And my dad was a head teacher in a primary school in Scotland, and he was changing jobs. And I was maybe about 10 or 11 years old. And his deputy head was a woman, a really amazing woman. I loved her. She used to come to our house. I thought she was a very impressive woman. And I remembered my dad talking to another person, I can't remember who that was, and this other person saying to my dad, "So will your deputy take over from you?" And he said, just as a matter of fact, he wasn't expressing an opinion here, he just said, no, he said, "They won't give a school this big to a woman." I was about 10 years old, and I just heard that. Meant my dad, who'd spent every moment of my life telling me I could do or be anything. And suddenly I heard him quite casually, quite factually saying, "A woman will never get a job like mine." And you know what? I was pretty angry. And I want to encourage all of you young women to get a bit angry too. Because you know, too often we talk about, oh, this is not very good for women. Oh, women are a bit unhappy. Oh, we're not doing as well as we should be. But actually, we need to get out there and say, we're not having this. This is a massive waste of our exceptional talent. A massive waste of the difference that women make to the world. Because you know what, women? You're pretty special. You're doing better at university. More of you are going. You're doing better in the professional subjects. More of you are taking those jobs. Now we need to do the next thing and make sure, as Lucy was saying, as Kim was saying, that you get to the top of those jobs, because there's absolutely no reason why you won't. You've got all the skills, all the capacity, all the determination, and we've got to make sure that the best talent, the female talent, gets every chance and support that it needs to succeed. Now, it's not easy out there. We know, Lucy said, and she's right, sometimes it's a bit of a struggle, a bit of a fight, sometimes it's a bit unpleasant. And I don't see why any one of you should have to go through that, actually. And I also think we've got to be absolutely crystal clear that there's no place for sexist abuse, for misogyny, for bullying online or offline. We don't have to say, oh, it's all right, I can cope with that. We need to call it out. It is wrong. And when we have the kind of sex and relationships education that Juliet was talking about, Bethan was talking about, we need to make sure that it's, as others have said, empowering young women, not just telling us how to protect ourselves, but how to say we're not prepared to tolerate that. It is wrong. Because frankly, if we're cowering away thinking, oh, I can't do that because somebody might attack or be unpleasant to me, we're the losers a bit. But the real losers are the whole world that are not getting the benefit of the difference that our women can make, our young women can make, the changes we can bring to the world, the way we can make the future a better place for everyone. And when I meet young women in my constituency, in this room, anywhere I go, I see so much exciting potential. So let's make sure the world is helping all of those young women to maximise and realise that potential. Because honestly, that's how the world's going to get better in the future. And I know with all of you, that's definitely what's going to come.